Hello and welcome back to PRATHAM Test Prep channel. So today again we are going to have another round of Boost Your Vocabulary session, and this is session number 24. So let's start with the first word for the day. Alright, so the first word is duberous. Now this sounds very similar to dubious, and that is also one of the synonyms for this particular word. Now, duberous means something that is doubtful, something that is uncertain, something that you're not very sure about. So, have a look at the sentence. I am kind of dubious about letting you go, but if your sister looked after you, you could do a good job. Now, because you're describing your state of being, your state of mind, which is dubious, this is clearly an adjective. Now, as I said, the mnemonic aid is also dubious, and this is again synonymous to dubious. So, this is one word that we have been using pretty much frequently in all our regular classes and our handouts and assignments. So, this should come very easily to you. Let's have a look at the second word, which is whinge. Now, we know the word whining, right? People who complain about, and whinge sounds something which is very similar to it. So the word whinge means to complain persistently, to grumble. Have a look at the sentence. That man always has some whinge about how women don't understand him. Now you're constantly complaining and grumbling about something. That is what whinge is, and that complain you could say is sort of whinge. So this is a part of speech noun, but yes, of course, you can also use it as a noun. Let's have a look at the next word, which is indolent. Now, look at the mnemonic. Playing indoors makes you indolent. So, you know how these days kids are always glued to their iPads and their computer screens and their TVs, and we always encourage them to go out and play in the open, right? So, when you play indoors, what happens is you become lazy, and because your parents kind of want you to be really active, they want you to go outside and do various other kind of activities. Now, the word indolent means lazy and slothful. So, have a look at the sentence. He is an indolent boy who had to be forced to help out with the chores. So, when you say he is an indolent boy, over here the word boy is a noun and we are describing it, which makes indolent an adjective. Now, please do not confuse the word indolent with insolent because indolent is something different. Indolent refers to being lazy, and insolent is somebody who is very rude, who is boorish in nature. Although, that, of course, yes, is again an adjective. Let's move forward, and the next word is riveted. Now, look at the sentence. I was riveted seeing the big fish in the river. Now, imagine you're on the riverside and you do not really expect to see a really huge fish, right, just near the shore. So, what happens is I saw that and I was riveted. So, this is something that you get transfixed, right? You have been concentrating on something, and then suddenly you come across something else, right? You're fastened. So, it's almost as if you saw something and you could not move and you're just fixated to it. Everyone riveted their eyes on the trick that the magician was performing on stage. You know, if you people have been to any kind of magic show, sometimes what happens is that we try to understand and look at the hand movements of the magician to kind of understand how the particular trick has been performed, right? Of course, we are not able to do that if the magician is really good, but that's essentially what we, I think, probably all of us try to do. So they have riveted their eyes. Their eyes are completely fixed on the trick that the magician was performing. They were probably trying to understand how it was being done and they were trying to figure out some sort of a loophole. So that's exactly what was happening. Now, since the meaning over here starts with to transfix someone, the part of speech in this case is a verb. Let's move forward to the next one, which is flummoxed. Now, imagine if you visit a water park and instead of people swinging on the slides and on this being on the slides, you see a dirty pig. What's going to happen? You will be confused. You'll be like, oh my god, where have I come? What's this happening? And that's exactly what the mnemonic aid is sort of. At the water park, I was completely flummoxed when in the flume ride I saw a pig swimming along. So when you are flummoxed, you are kind of confused, you are perplexed, you are bewildered. Have a look at the sentence. He's an actor who's easily flummoxed by any changes in the script. So he's an actor, and if out of nowhere suddenly you change the script, he gets really confused. He doesn't really understand how he has to manage. So he's somebody who would need a very, very definite script. And of course, if you are a good actor, that should not really happen, and you should be able to, manage as per the changing sequence or as per the changing circumstance. Now, again, since we are saying who's easily flummoxed, the word over here is a verb. I am so sorry for the background noise. That is my neighbor's dog, which I can't really control. So let's move forward. Okay, the next word is adamantine. Now, look at the mnemonic. A dam is inflexible. Dam, a water resource, right? It's really huge in size, and that is something that you cannot really move with your bare hands or just some minor amount of force, right? It is really big construction that happens, and of course, it is very inflexible. So anything that is adamantine, it is unable to be broken. It's quite determined, it's quite strong, and also sturdy. Have a look at the sentence. It was an adamantine opposition of his parents to his marriage to a girl from a poor family. So you're kind of saying that this person wanted to marry a girl who came from a poor family, and because the guy's parents were extremely adamant, they were just not ready to, agree to their son's decision. They were adamantine. Now, this is an adjective because you're describing the opposition, which over here is also a noun. The next word is covenant. Now, covenant sort of has a combination of two words, which is cow and ant, right? So the cow made a covenant to give 5 liters of milk to the ant daily. So covenant, cow plus ant. So covenant is like a formal agreement or promise between two or more people. Look at the sentence. The two countries signed a peace covenant that it was hoped would put an end to decades of bitter conflict. Now, I think it's been a couple of months and weeks that we have constantly been hearing about Russia versus Ukraine, and the situation has not really been resolved. Something or the other is constantly happening. So now, if they come and they sign a covenant, it would mean that, okay, probably they have agreed to be at peace with each other and they have almost signed a treaty. So Saksham has a question over here. He's asking, can adamantine be used for humans' behavior? Yes, of course it can be used for humans' behavior. See, mnemonic aid and the meaning are supposed to be two very different things, right? Mnemonic aid is just to make you remember the meaning of the word. It is a trick, but the original meaning is a meaning that is written on the slide, so you would kind of have to focus more on that aspect. I hope Saksham, your doubt is cleared. I'm moving forward to the next word. The next word is troth. Now, troth sounds very similar to truth. And also, guys, the word is not truth, the word is truth. So please be very particular about the pronunciation. Now, the word troth means loyal and pledged faithfulness. So it's almost that you are saying, by my troth, I will not trespass on your precious property. So you're saying, by my oath, right? The promise that I have given you and my faith, or you could say the oath that I have taken, I am extremely loyal to it. So I'm not going to cross the boundary and I'm not going to enter your property. Now, because this is pledged faithfulness, it's like a promise of faith that you are giving to someone. So, hence, the part of speech is a noun. Now, I'm not sure how many of you must have heard this word, but yes, it's like, I would say, a newer word for you in terms of using, rather than just using a simple word like a promise or faith and, like that. The next word is grouse. Now, it sounds like spouse who complains a lot. Not to take a dig at anyone, but this is something that we all constantly hear, no? That people who are married are just complaining from each other. The husband is blaming the wife is blaming the husband. So, spouse complains about a lot, and hence the person is also complaining angrily. So, grouse means to complain angrily. Have a look at the sentence. He hasn't stopped grousing since we started this vacation. So, since the time this vacation started, all he was doing was just constantly complaining, and that too in a very angry and aggressive tone. Now, since the meaning starts with to complain angrily, the part of speech in this case is again a verb. So I feel this is quite interesting mnemonic. So technically, you should not really be forgetting it. The next word is spiffling. Look at the mnemonic. Poof, that's not even important. So anything that is spiffling is also trivial. It is insignificant. It is unimportant. It's not really useful for you, right? So we could also say superfluous because again, it does not really have a lot of importance. From his perspective as a billionaire, what the government got paid was a piffling amount. Now, we are talking about this one person who is probably a billionaire, right? And in his opinion, some amount was being paid to the governor of the particular city. And what happened was that he felt that the amount was very meager, it was not sufficient, it was very, very small, and it was insignificant. Now, since we are saying a piffling amount over here is a noun, hence piffling as a word becomes an adjective. Now, trivial, I am sure that is one word that we all probably have been using very frequently in our day to day lives, and this is again something that we all know. So, this is a new word for you, and I would want you people to kind of make sure that you remember this because this is again a newer word for your own personal vocab. Well, that's all for today's video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Thank you. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to Pratham Test Prep channel, and also do not forget to click the bell icon. Thank you.